Connection he has.
In the Cathedral of Tennis, in the place where traditions weigh as much as the strokes, Roger Federer walked confidently across the grass. Wimbledon was his garden, his fortress, the stage where he had already lifted the trophy 6 times and where he seemed immortal. It was July 2011, and the Swiss, with his elegant stride and the calm gaze of someone who knows he owns center court, was about to play a match that, on paper, looked like a formality. Across from him stood Wilfried Tsonga, a player feared for his power, his charisma, that contagious smile, and that electric energy capable of igniting any stadium. But Tsonga, despite all his talent, arrived as the outsider, someone expected to fight with honor on Federer's sacred grass. Nobody, absolutely nobody, imagined what was about to happen.
That's a poor game from Tsonga.
Wow, that's the best shot he's hit so far.
No.
Good as that.
Oh, just somebody record that.
The British crowd, always composed, waited in anticipation. A murmur spread through the stands. Another routine day for Federer, and the story seemed written from the very first points. Federer displayed his full repertoire right away. Precise serves, drop volleys dying on the grass, that low skidding slice backhand taking away rhythm. Tsonga tried to answer with raw power, pounding the lines with bombs, but Federer was implacable. In barely half an hour, the Swiss secured the first set 6-3, as if completing a routine masterpiece.
You'd be surprised.
Unruffled, barely sweating, the second set was almost identical. Federer, with astonishing serenity, imposed his law again. He broke early, dominated rallies with insulting ease, and closed it 6-3 once more. The gestures in the crowd were clear. Everyone expected a comfortable victory. Federer was humiliating his rival, not only beating him, neutralizing him, making him look small on tennis's grandest stage. And there was a brutal statistic. Federer had never lost a Grand Slam match after winning the first 2 sets. Never. The record seemed untouchable, destined to remain intact. At that moment, Wilfried Tsonga stood against the ropes. He had fought, he had fired missiles, but Federer looked immortal. 2 sets down at Wimbledon against the King of Grass. It was a scenario that would crush anyone's spirit, but Tsonga wasn't just anyone. The Frenchman decided to let go of all pressure, forget the score, and play as if there were no tomorrow. And that was when the match took a turn that even today, more than a decade later, is remembered as one of the greatest feats in the history of the tournament.
I guess it's the same old line. Too good. Look at Tsonga there trying to put some pressure on Federer. Full stretch.
near sideline.
He thinks he missed it.
The ball's caught in.
Federer's ready for the changeover.
He's ready for either one. We didn't.
Oh, how about that? Lovely exchange. This
Tsonga's
one's
challenging.
In the third set, Tsonga began to find his serve. Each delivery was a whip Federer could barely touch. The Frenchman, with his elastic body and steel arm, rattled off service games at lightning speed. Federer, who had been the undisputed master of the court, began to realize the French wall was nearly impenetrable. Tsonga held with authority, while the Swiss felt the pressure of having to match that intensity. The crowd, who had expected a routine win, began to sense something different, a change of energy, a new vibration with each point, Tsonga claimed. The set stayed tight until the 10th game. When Tsonga struck, he attacked the return with unusual aggression, stepped inside the baseline, and unleashed two forehands that exploded on the lines. Federer, stunned, missed a volley he would normally make with his eyes closed. The break came, and with it, a
Game. Federer.
no complaint from Federer, no double challenge. Both at Queen's Club and here, he has showcased this single-handed. Look at this. He didn't have a single-handed backhand the last time I looked. And now he's really enjoying it. Looks like your old sparring partner, Stefan Edberg, on that side. Now, this is fascinating.
The 4 set that restored hope. Tsonga raised his arms, roared to the sky, and center court answered with a thunderous ovation. The match was no longer a procession. History was unfolding. The 4th set was a spectacle of raw force. Tsonga played free, fearless, hammering every ball as if it were his last. His serve was a weapon of war. Body shots, wide aces, consistently over 200 km/h. Federer, still elegant, still precise, began to realize his classic repertoire was not enough. Every time Roger produced magic, Tsonga responded with brute force. Slowly, the balance tilted. At 5-4, Tsonga broke again. Another 6-4. The stadium exploded. Federer, the king of Wimbledon, was on the ropes. The match, unbelievably, was tied at 2 sets apiece. The tension on center court was indescribable. Federer had never lost a Grand Slam match after winning the first 2 sets. Never. And suddenly, that record was in real danger. Tsonga was in a trance. His body seemed like an unstoppable machine. Every serve, every forehand, every gesture radiated confidence. Federer, for the first time in a long time at Wimbledon, looked human.
Tsonga.
The fifth set began with brutal intensity. Federer knew he could not give up an inch. He rushed the net, searched for impossible angles, tried to dismantle Tsonga with his slice backhand, but the Frenchman was untouchable. His serves were missiles, over 70% first serves, more than 15 aces in that set alone. Federer could do little but watch the ball whiz past, helpless. In the fifth game, the unthinkable happened. Tsonga, in a surge of aggression, pounced on Federer's serve. He returned deep, attacked the net, and finished with a crushing volley. Break to the Frenchman. The stadium shook. Federer, face tense, realized he was in one of the toughest battles of his Wimbledon career. The Swiss fought, resisted, tried to break back, but Tsonga was possessed. No hesitation, no nerves, no openings. At 5-4, Tsonga stepped up to serve for the match. The silence was sepulchral, an ace, then a forehand winner, another unreturnable serve, 3 match points, and on the first, a wide serve Federer could barely touch. Game, set, match. Tsonga had completed the miracle. 3-6, 3-6, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4.
He has served and volleyed on this second serve as a surprise tactic 3 or 4 times. Break up in the fifth, 2-1. Service judge, as usual.
Center court erupted like few times in history. The crowd, torn between astonishment and admiration, rose to their feet. Federer, always the gentleman, congratulated his rival with a bitter smile. Tsonga instead fell to his knees on the grass, lifted his arms, and screamed with all his soul. It was his day, his feat, the match that immortalized him. The stat was devastating. Tsonga became the first player ever to defeat Federer at a Grand Slam after trailing 2 sets to love. A record thought untouchable had fallen, and it happened on tennis's most sacred stage. That day, Federer had humiliated his rival, dominated him completely, with victory assured. But then the incredible happened. Tsonga came back, fought against history, and wrote one of Wimbledon's most memorable pages.
Too fast. Connection he has with the tennis public.
The match was remembered not just for the score, but for the brutal contrast between Federer's classic elegance and Tsonga's overwhelming power. It was a duel of styles, of personalities, of philosophies, and above all, it was a lesson that in sport, nothing is written. When Wimbledon's greatest feats are recalled, this match always appears, because it symbolizes the unexpected, the magic of a sport where even the gods are not untouchable. Tsonga, the outsider, the charismatic Frenchman, became a legend for a day. Federer, the dethroned king, learned that even in his garden, a gladiator could appear to challenge him. That afternoon in 2011, the Cathedral of Tennis witnessed the impossible, and those who lived it will never forget.